Well, we're back and welcome to another episode of Off the Leash, brought to you by the Racing Post in association with Premier Greyhound Racing. After a couple of weeks off, we are back down to business. The big racing is back on PGR. £12,500 arena racing company Kent Silver Salver gets underway on Saturday night at Central Park, the most lucrative sprint competition of the year. This is episode 61, and as ever, we're in top class company. Open race correspondent from the Racing Post, Tony Bullen, joins us. Long time no see, Tony. What have you been up to?
Yeah, no, not too much. The weather's been pretty good, decent. It's cooled down a little bit, but this sprint looks red hot, so I'm expecting some decent performances from some of the best sprinters in the country.
Indeed. We'll dive into all that. I see you got the navy blue memo as well, so we're the Blues brothers this week as we tackle the first round of the Silver Salver. Do get involved here on the Racing Post YouTube channel. Like, comment and subscribe. Let us know who you're fancying for the Silver Salver. Want your best bets, your outright views, absolutely everything. A big thanks to everyone who gets involved in the show, whether it be on YouTube or on our Facebook page where we also post the video. Right, episode 61. We're going to dive straight in to the Kent Silver Salver. £12,500. The competition dates back to 1933 in sunny Southend. Was the first home of the Silver Salver. First run at Central Park in 2002. Been some brilliant winners down the year. Roxham Hat, favourite of mine. Class act. 277 metres at Central Park, Tony. You can recover after a slow start. Really nice long run to the corner.
Yeah, it is. I mean, obviously, the first bend is the third bend over the four bend distance. I always feel it could be a little bit more banked. It can sometimes be a bit flat and dogs drift off, but I've always been a fan of Central Park. I like all the distances there, and yeah, it's a fair sprint.
Yes, you won't go far to see too many graded races over the two bends, but not too many open races over the 277. We've got 6 of them, 6 first round heats on Saturday night. We're going to jump straight in. This is heat number 1 then. Dances with Wolves on the inside, 20-1 in the red jacket for Mick Mavris, one of the locals. Abbyside Crypto at 14s for Maxine Lock and the JR Racing Syndicate. King Jackson for Liz and Rab McNair, 5-2 in track 3. A middle, Darren Hoffa, a middle 14s. Bannon Akil Liam, who's firing on all cylinders and is the anti-post favourite. 4-6 for the MWD partnership and 15 times champion trainer Mark Wallace. And Blast Off Kobe, another one of the locals who's dropping back in trip here in trap 6 at 5-1 for Danny Brabham. Now, we are going to bring you a little bit of footage here. Now, this was from TV Trophy final night up at Monmore. It was the Ladbrokes.com 264 final in which Bannon Akil Liam at 15-15 out of trap 6. Led home Kennelmate Pavilion team in trap 4. Cunningar Usar was in trap 1. This was the second fastest time of the year over the two bends at Monmore, 264 metres. A class act who's in red-hot form. He's trialled well. And he's very strong over two bends as well. I like the way this dog goes again when he straightens up off the second turn, Tony.
Yeah, he shaped really well in the Monmore Puppy Derby, Dave, but Mark decided to drop him to two bends, and he's been a revelation since, as you say, he's ratcheting up numerous victories, and he got it right at the boxes in this final, and boy, did he put some decent rivals to the sword in a fast time. And Connections have got to be absolutely delighted with the prep trial. I mean, I would have took 16.30. The fact that he's gone and done 16.14 tells you that he could break the 16-second barrier.
Yes, rightly at a short price. Can he be opposed or not?
No, I'm going to be with him. I mean, King Jackson's obviously interested in dropping back in distance. I think he's well equipped to cope with a drop in sprinting, but he's going to have to bring his A game to claim the sculpt with an in-form, conquering Balin Akil Liam.
Yeah, a bit of a surprising one. He's second in King Jackson, the second favourite. There are question marks. So he dropped away at Toaster. Spoke to Rab McNair. He's been over the dog. Can't see any issues whatsoever. Maybe they appreciate the switch back to Central Park. Of course, all the British bred superstars out of Liz and Rab McNair's kennel. Central Park's their local track. They're school trolled. They know what's what around Central Park. They know the track like the back of their hand. So he won't be out of place, whether it be two bends or four bends at Central Park. Loads of experience there. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes because he's certainly capable of ruffling feathers. But yeah, 2 strong votes for the odds-on Jolly and the anti-post favourite Bannon Akil Liam. We don't have to wait long to see him. He goes in heat number 1. Let's move on to heat number 2 then. And we've got Beaming Isla on the inside for Maxine Lock and the JR Racing Syndicate, 10-1. Brindle Moon for Martin Wiley, also out of Romford in track 2, 10-1. 13-2, Rocket Rose for Barry O'Sullivan, local trainer. Coppice Ronnie for Kevin Hutton and Tony Breedy. Tintreach Miley, 11-2. Queen Dusty, 7-4. Coppice Ronnie in the 4 box here. I've got to be honest, Tony. He's prolific, 10 wins from 25. It was a good effort in the trial stake, which we'll see shortly in behind King Presley. Good trial, good clocks on his card elsewhere. I thought this dog would be odds on. He's 6-4. He looks a dot on the card to me.
Yeah, I agree with you, Dave. I mean, 6-4. I think they've taken too much out of Queen Dusty. Now, look, Queen Dusty's a credit to connections, but I know she's got form over 2 bends, but I don't have her down as an out-and-out sprinter. And the race that Coppice Ronnie ran in a prep race would have graced the final itself. So, yeah, I was a bit surprised to see him so close in the betting. I'm not sure they'll be so close on the track because I expect Coppice Ronnie to do the business.
Yeah, Queen Dusty, of course, a former Cat 1 finalist, multiple finalist, and a former Cat 1 winner as well. Won the Puppy Oaks once upon a time at Toaster over the 500 metres, but I think she was a Puppy Cup finalist at Romford. She's been to loads of finals. Classy, trappy. Can she live with Coppice Ronnie to the corner? We will find out. Heat number 2 there, but a good thing for myself and Tony in the black jacket. Right, let's move on to Heat 3. Westville Bullet on the inside for Jason Smith, 5-1. Harlequin Ernie for Luke Morris and Tony Breedy, 8. Nice enough, 16's another one for Luke Morris. The defending champion, Magical Blue Bear for Mark Russell, goes in trap 4 at 11-8. Pavilion team second in at 2-1 for champion trainer Mark Wallace and the MWD partnership. And King Pavarotti, 6-1 for Spencer Mavericks here. Right, we have got a bit of footage, and of course, we're going to bring you last year's final. A Magical Blue Bear here in trap 4, 16-24, beating My Lenny in trap 6 for Adam Sear and Droopy Standard in the red jacket. Heartbreak Hotel, this one for me, Tony. It was a good run from the winner, but I was all over My Lenny, anti-post and on the night, and he trapped smartly, but good Ben running and plenty of pace from the winner, who is back.
Yeah, we went head-to-head last year, funny enough. It's still fresh in the memory, this victory, because he did the business, Magical Blue Bear, for myself. Again, it was a shootout from the boxes, but he just had that inside line, Magical Blue Bear, and he took to the track. He improved with each round and did the business. I think he's back in the groove and takes the beating in the Heat 3.
Yeah, it didn't take long to mention that, did it? We went to head-to-head. Well, listen, we had the first 2 home in the anti-post in this competition last year, but of course, Magical Blue Bear got up the inside of My Lenny. Incidentally, he misses out. He's a bit sore at the moment, My Lenny, but Adam tells me he will be back, so hopefully it won't be too long before we see him. But 2 votes for the defending champion here?
Yeah, for me, I think he's back in the groove. Confidence is high.
Yes, back-to-back wins at Perry Bar. Good trial as well. Right, let's move on to heat number 4, and this is the race of the night. This is an incredible race. Right, heat 4, we've got Oakfield Murty on the inside at 10s for Chris Gilbert out of Perry Barbary, and Moore Paldy for Danny Bradburn. Then we've got Canturk Fusha there, 12s and 16s. Then we've got the Scurry Cup champion, Rocco Oisin, 5-4 for Kevin Hutton. Annie Zora, 12-1 in the 5 for Barry O'Sullivan. And the track record holder, King Presley, 11-10 for Liz and Ramit there in the KSS Syndicate. And I mentioned a key line of form, which featured Coppice Ronnie. He finished 3rd here. This was last week in a trial stake. He was in trap 5. King Presley did the business out of 6. And check out the pace shown by Rocco Oisin here in trap 3, the Scurry Cup champion. Back on the track, 6.35, winning time 16.21. He's like clockwork out these boxes, King Presley.
Yeah, he's found a set of trapping boots, Dave. He's reeled off that hat-trick over course and distance. You wouldn't be too disappointed with the runner-up's effort. I mean, that was his first competitive start in a while. I know sprinters can go well fresh off their bed, but you can't beat race fitness. Like, it's all right putting times up in trials, but race fitness is key. I think the first 2 ran absolute blinder, and even the Coppice Ronnie dog in 3rd. It was a very good one-off race, and they go head-to-head again.
Yeah, I think Rocco Oisin hadn't been seen since the national sprint final. He's been off the card. His trainer, Kevin Hutton, tells me that the dog's wristy, he's shouldery, he's hippy, but he's very, very fast. There's no doubt about that. He needed the spin. He described Rocco Oisin as a bit fizzy at home, so that might have taken the edge off him. Shake off the rust. His trials are good. Can he reverse that form, Tony?
Yeah, I think he can. I mean, the thing is as well, you'd have fragile handle with care on Rocco Oisin. He's a big 37-kilo dog, so you're not going to really push him. You're going to be taking your time with him. And I think the fact that he's put up those quick times in trials, now stood up to that race, I think he heads into the event. He's going to get better and better with each outing.
Yeah, in terms of pure speed, I think he's the fastest dog in the country, whether it be 2 bends, 4 bends. But just raw pace, he's so exciting. It's great to see him back. And what a tussle in the first round there. But 2 votes for the Scurry Cup champion, Rocket Oisin. There. Right, so let's move on to heat number 5. Queen Sinead on the inside at 6-4 for Liz McNair and the KSS Syndicate. Bert Ted, 11-2 in the blue for Chris Gilbert out of Perry Bar. Droopy's Rarity, 7s. Rana Mamba, 11-2. Pro Parker, 7-2. Whitewood Lenny at 5s. I think we've got 2 finalists from the Golden Sprint here. Rana Mamba in the 4th for Michelle Brown and Whitewood Lenny. This race could have been over the 400 metres at Romford with 4, 5 and 6 lining up.
Yeah, I must admit, when I first glanced at the race, I thought, was this the Romford card I've opened up by mistake? But no, I mean, look, Pro Parker's moved well in a recent trial, suggests that he's ready to rock and roll, dropping back in distance. But I did think that if he was connected with Queen Sinead, KSS Syndicate, Liz and Rad McNair, you'd be happy on both counts with the way the draws worked out. I think returning to the red vest, I think she looks the one to beat. I think she can rail them off at the crown of the turn and assert up the home straight, Queen Sinead, Dave.
Yeah, she's, of course, a big competition winner herself, won the BGBF Puppy Cup down at Oxford. Listen, you could chuck in Droopy's Rarity there and it really could be a Friday night race at Romford. But for me, Romford form only really stands up at Romford. These 4 dogs are all quick, but Queen Sinead has got the pace. She's quite trappy, and I think she's got a little bit of local knowledge as well, although she's not been running at Central Park recently. As I'll keep banging that drum, you know, the McNair dogs, when they come through as youngsters, they're based in Ashford. Central Park is just down the road. It's where they cut their teeth, they troll, they school, they learn. So she'll be no stranger to the 2 bends at Central Park. And she's a worthy favourite at 6-4. I think she's going to be very hard to beat. 2 votes for her. Right, let's move on to Heat 6, the lucky last. Then it's race 10 on the card on Saturday night. Mucky Boreen at 4s on the inside. Tullamarri Dillon is the favourite at 11-10. Another one for Maxine Locke. And the non-runner syndicate, King Bono, now with Simon Deakin, goes in 3 here. Centre Amigo for Dave Money's 11-2. King Bono 9-2. Air Force 2 14s. Mickey's Tribute 6-1 for Ricky Holloway. Going to bring you a little bit of VT. This was a trial stake last time out. King Bono, now with Simon Deakin, as I mentioned, he's a litter brother to King Presley. This wasn't a great race, wasn't a very deep race. But he did the business here. 16-22 out of track 5. Rocket Rose in 3. Insane Sam in 6. He trapped smartly, showed loads of pace. That's the name of the game. And he looks in good nick.
Yeah, another dog that's sort of found a set of trapping boots of late, and the results are speaking volumes. Impressive in that D1, 16-21, and sort of another demolition job in an identical time for King Bono. He's got to be a big player in another heat that you would say if you was connected to any, you'd be pleased that you're in.
Yeah, the last heat, probably the weakest heat. Tullamarri Dillon is 11-10, a worthy favourite. And are you with or against?
Yeah, no, I'm with Tullamarri Dillon. He's got a good strike rate, bounce back to winning ways at Hove, beating Mickey's Tribute, who I think is a bit of a quirky, chasey type. Mucky Boring was interesting. Only likely raced at more at Romford, should I say. Got a decent make-up on the rails, but no look round does put me off slightly, and I just thought Tullamarri Dillon, I think he's drawn the right side of King Bono. I think it would be helpful rather than a hindrance. So Maxine Locke's Tullamarri Dillon for me. Yeah,
they are the big 2 for me here as well, 11-10 and 9-2. Just on the prices, I think they're probably a little bit too far apart. So at the moment, 11-10 and 9-2, I'm going to be with the value here in 3. If my life depended on it, which thankfully it doesn't, Tullamarri Dillon would get the vote. King Bono, of course, when you see McNair dogs move out the kennel, it's often because they don't quite make the grade. So, you know, that will get you a price about King Bono, but there's no flies on Simon Deakin. Very shrewd, top trainer, dual attached Perry Bar and Nottingham. They came down to pick up an open race, and they're back again. And I wouldn't read too much into that. Speaking to Rad McNair, they've got a lot of exciting young pups on the ground and they need to make room in the kennels. So King Bono didn't quite make the cut. But he's in good hands here. So he'll do for me at 9-2. I think that's a very fair price. That's Heat 6 on Saturday night in the Arena Racing Company Kent Silver Salver. Right, let's get to the outright book then. £12,500 up for grabs on Saturday night. It's the first round of the Arena Racing Company Kent Silver Salver down at Central Park. Live on PGR. And Ballinacoo Liam is the 4-1 favourite for the champion trainer, Mark Wallace, looking to land a 6-timer. The track record holder, King Presley, next in at 5s, alongside the Scurry Cup winner, Rocket Oishin. Then we've got Magical Blue Bear, the defending champion, at 8s. King Jackson at 12s, Pavilion Team at 12s, 14 bar. What are your thoughts here, Tony?
Yeah, if you'd have said to me a couple of months ago, do you think Magical Blue Bear can retain his Silver Salver title? I'd have said no, but since then, he's got impressive back-to-back wins at Perry Bar, decent win at Nottingham under his belt. He's back in the groove at the right time. Confidence is high. I think he can defend the title, Dave.
Yeah, of course, did the business for a trainer in his 90s last year, William Russell. It's very much a family kennel, and his son Mark has taken over now the name on the licence. But back-to-back wins at Perry Bar, as Tony mentioned, this dog is coming good at the right time to defend his title. So he's an H chance with Ladbrokes. First one's out the boxes with heat betting and outright betting. So fair play to the guys there. I think Ballinakil Liam is going to take some stopping now. I think he's got a penalty kick in the opening round. I love the way this dog runs sort of the home straight, if you like. And we saw him at Monmore run the bends hard, and he's so fast, he sometimes just spins a little bit wide second turn. But when he straightens up, as Tony said, we've seen him over 4 bends when he started out his career. Good form. He's going to run this 277 very hard, and I think he's the dog to beat. But it's great to see Rocker Royce back. I think he's an incredibly fast dog. Now, given the makeup here, there's 36 runners. There's only 11 raiders. I was desperate, absolutely desperate to find one at a price that we can have a few quid on each way in the outright market. And I've dug out Beaming Isla for the JR Racing Syndicate and Maxine Lock. Now, she's been on and off the card, but she did win over course and distance. She's had 7 starts, 1 win and 1 second. That win was in a maiden over course and distance. She runs the bend hard and she rails quite tightly. And given there's only 11 raiders, and I don't think many of them are going to qualify, I think she can from Heat 2. So she'll probably get trap 1 in the semi-finals. And anything can happen. She is 100 to 1. So even on the place part of the bet, 25 to 1 to be in the first 4 in the final. Might give us a run at a huge, huge price. I'm with the Jolly, but I'm just going to chuck in Beaming Isla as well at 3 figures. 100 to 1. So that is the outright market then for the £12,500 Arena Racing Company Kent Silver Salver, which gets underway on Saturday night at Central Park, of course, live on PGR. Right, it is that time of the week. Best bets then. We're here covering the action on the Premier Greyhound Racing Service. Open race correspondent from the Racing Post, Tony Bullen, joins us. We're recording this on a Wednesday morning. We can go Thursday onwards. Where are we off to?
Yeah, well, we've really gone in depth in this Silver Salver, so I'm going to double down, Dave. I'm going to be with Magical Blue Bear as my best bet. As I say, I think if he's going to defend the title, he needs to kick off with a victory. I know he's up against an informed King Pavarotti in the very fast Pavilion Team, but I think Pavilion Team's at his best at Toaster, and Magical Blue Bear, I like the draw. If you could give him 4 throughout this event, I think Connections will be happy. I think he's worth sticking with now he's back in the groove. Magical Blue Bear, Heat 3 at Central Park on Saturday.
Yeah, 11.08, priced up early by Ladbrokes and Coral, so fair play to the team there. He's in the 8-9 team. I'm going to go in the Kent Silver Salver as well. We've drilled right down into the competition, and I think Coppice Ronnie is going to be odds on for his heat. You can back him right now at 6 to 4. As I mentioned, it's Wednesday morning we're recording this. I'm amazed he's as big as 6 to 4. I think he'll be odds on. He's a class act. He ran well in defeat behind the track record holder, King Presley. There's nothing of that calibre in his heat. He looks a good thing in the 801. 6 to 4 for me. We encourage you to gamble responsibly here on Off the Leash, but do steam in. This is a good thing, Coppice Ronnie. So 2 good things in the Kent Silver Salver then, Magical Blue Bear and Coppice Ronnie. I think they'll both be odds on. I think they'll both win. But you can get 11.08 and 6 to 4 respectively at the moment. Right, Tony, it's been an absolute pleasure as ever. Looking forward to the action. It's going to be fast and furious on Saturday night, isn't it?
Yeah, well, but there'll be hard luck stories. That's the nature of the beast in sprints, but hopefully the cream rise to the top and we get a great final. Yes,
looking forward to it across the next 3 Saturday nights. You better take in the action live on the PGR service from Central Park. There's £12,500 up for grabs in this year's Kent Silver Salver. It is the most lucrative sprint competition of the year. Do enjoy the racing, gamble responsibly, and we'll see you next week.